Welcome to Criminal Justice 568, International and Domestic Terrorism. My name is Dr. Darren Fisher, and together this semester we're going to be exploring what terrorism is, what it is not, how to combat terrorism, and importantly, how it varies around the world. Before we get into the course and some of the details about that, let me take a second to introduce myself to you all. I was born and raised in Sydney, Australia, and I got my undergraduate degree in Criminology and Social Sciences at the University of New South Wales. After finishing there, I came over to the US, where I worked out of UNC Chapel Hill on a project looking at whether there was any systematic racial prejudice in the application of the death penalty. While I was over here in the US, I fell in love with the educational system over here and decided that it was a good place for me to try and get my PhD. I then went and got my PhD and Masters at the University of Maryland in Criminology and Criminal Justice, and ever since I've been working here as an assistant professor at the Citadel. Over the course of my career, I've studied a number of different things in quite a bit of detail, beginning with crime prevention through environmental design and injection drug use in Australia. But since coming to the US, my research has been primarily concerned with terrorism, very fittingly for this course. Specifically, my research looks at what we as societies and specifically governments can do to prevent and deter terrorism. One of the challenges with this being an online course is that it can be difficult to have more of the face-to-face interactions between myself and all of you. So my hope through doing these weekly videos is to give you a bit more of an inside access into my interpretation of the readings, so a little bit more face-to-face feedback on your contributions each week, and so you can get to know me as a professor in a little bit more detail. This is a very new function of this class, so if you've got any feedback on how these videos are, any suggestions for improving them, please don't hesitate to let me know. So without any further ado, let me give you a brief overview of what the course has ahead for you. So in this course, there are 5 assessment tasks, some of which will run throughout the entire semester. The first of which is the weekly discussion board posts. Each week we'll be covering a different topic, and for that topic there'll be a discussion board where you'll be expected to make at least 3 contributions to the class discussion. The first post should be an original one to start a thread, and the other 2 should be responses to your fellow students' responses. One of the things I've been delighted about these discussion board posts in the past has been the original readings that your fellow students have had, and also the connections that have been fostered through these posts. The purpose behind these postings is to give you an opportunity to gain some feedback on your ideas and how you're making your arguments, and to use this as an opportunity to practice your writing skills for future larger tasks as well. One of the greatest challenges about working in terrorism is learning how to articulate arguments in a clear, concise way that's also persuasive. And so these discussion boards are designed specifically for that task. The second of your weekly tasks will be a series of online quizzes. These will all be done through SitLearn. The majority of them will be multiple choice, but some of them will also involve you doing some data tasks. For those of you familiar with the Global Terrorism database, this will be an opportunity for you to learn some skills that will enable you to look at the way that terrorism varies around the globe, and particularly over time and over place. And it'll also give you an opportunity to learn some Microsoft Excel skills that will enable you to make some graphs to interrogate some fundamental research questions about terrorism, and also help to foster some skills that will hopefully be useful in your careers beyond this course. Turning to the 3 major tasks for the semester, there will be 2 exams for this class. The first exam will be a midterm exam and will be worth 15% of your grade, and the final exam will be worth 20% of your grade. Once we get into the course, I'll introduce those in a little bit more detail and a little bit more formally, but for now, those are the 2 major exams for this course. The final task that you'll have for this semester is to write a research paper, which will be worth the final 30% of your grade for this course. Again, I'll go into this a little bit more detail, but for those of you looking to get ahead on this task, be thinking about a specific nation from around the world where you'd like to go into a lot more detail with regard to terrorism. So those are the 5 tasks this semester. If you've got any questions on that, let me know. But as I said, we'll be going to those in a little bit more detail once we get our feet wet in the course. For now, however, I take a moment to go through the syllabus available on the left-hand side through the SitLearn homepage for the class, and to make sure that you're aware of all of the details there. Again, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. To prepare you for all of these tasks, I've broken up the course into weekly modules that can be found again through the course modules point on the left-hand side of the CitLearn homepage. For each week, there will be a series of readings, and there will be a series of YouTube videos as well to give you a variety of different perspectives on the material for each given week. One of the things that I want to emphasize from the get-go is that I don't expect you to just parrot back some of the findings from the papers that we're looking at, and what I want you to all develop is a critical eye to reading all these things. So don't feel that you have to just reiterate everything that's been said, and I want you to take the time to sit down, digest, and really think about how persuasive the arguments are in each of the articles and the videos that you'll be exposed to each week. A great place to do this is again through the discussion board, and it's been a place for some great debate over the last couple of semesters. So again, I'm really looking forward to reading your thoughts on everything as the semester progresses. So welcome again to Criminal Justice 568 International Domestic Terrorism, and I'm looking forward to sharing the semester ahead with all of you. I wish you all the very best of luck with everything.